Well, as I always say, there is no flag big enough to cover up the fury of a provoked nation. Coming up. Well, Abahambe movement has gone global. This week, UK has also took it to the streets in protest against the influx of illegal immigrants into their country. Yep. Now, guys, I want you to listen and pick up the similarities of British citizens' complaints against the illegal immigrants, of course, in comparison with ours, South Africans. Shocking. The UK citizens also say these illegal immigrants take their jobs, including government jobs that rightfully belongs to British citizens. They complain about crime that has hit the roof. They complain about these guys being disrespectful and rude. And of course, the unfair local business competition. That means the UK citizens, local businessmen are competing with these illegal immigrants. But because they are here illegally, they don't have to abide by the rules and the laws or the bylaws of the country. Imagine that. They say not only that, but these guys, they also sustain their businesses with the selling of drugs. I'm telling you, they complain about drugs, human trafficking is shocking. Listen to this.
So really it's just, I've got 4 sons and I just want them to be able to grow up in a country like I did. I'm 45 now, and I just see every day, even in my town, that really my town isn't that badly affected, but even there, you can see the change, you can see the rise in crime. So it's just as well like how the country's just gone downhill, you can't get housing, job opportunities are few and far between.
I want to stop the boats, stop the illegal immigration, and take our country back.
We wanted to come along and give our support to everyone,
and even prison.
The nation, British
this
people.
Young woman, Yuna, was put in prison for one day for holding a sign that said
everyone's feeling it in England. We're not happy with the politicians we have in Parliament.
Now you've got to stop the boats flag. Tell me about that.
That's to stop the illegal immigrants from coming over. They're just letting them in.
This is our country. You should be here standing with us.
Thousands gathered in London on Saturday for the Unite the Kingdom march, organised by Robinson. Protesters, waving British and English flags, called for stronger immigration policies, with signs reading, "Stop the boats and send them home." The march reflects growing concerns over migration into the UK, sparked by recent incidents such as the arrest of a migrant convicted of a serious crime. Counter-protests also occurred, with police deploying over 1,000 officers to separate the two groups. Demonstrators expressed concerns over perceived inequalities in the distribution of public services and housing, especially for UK citizens facing hardships. However, opponents of the march argue that migrants are being unfairly blamed for the country's issues.
It is such a good point. I mean, when you really can see the visuals, it's astonishing how many people have entered the UK. It's why so many Brits are so upset. We heard from plenty of them, including the mother of Rhiannon White, who was killed by an illegal migrant, and she delivered a pretty powerful speech, very emotional speech at the Unite the Kingdom rally, describing what happened to her daughter.
Rhiannon was stabbed 23 times with a Phillips screwdriver. The main injury which caused her death was to her brainstem. Less than 90 seconds this monster took to attack her. leaving her fighting for her life on a train station platform. If she had survived, she would have been blind with brain injuries and no quality of life. 11 weeks he was in this country when he unleashed his unprovoked frenzied attack on my daughter. And to celebrate his achievements, he then went and purchased alcohol, returned to the hotel and was caught on CCTV and mobile footage dancing and laughing with lights in the background, which were emergency services trying to save her.
Oh, it's just so chilling to hear that, isn't it? But then she also went on to call for illegals to be deported. Let's just listen to this.
How many more women, children or even men have to keep going through this? Sexual assaults, rapes and even murdered. This needs to stop. This sham of a government needs to start looking after the British citizens of this country. We have enough with the people of our own country committing these crimes. We don't need any more of these illegal invaders. Shut the borders, detain them and send them back to whichever country they are from. Stop giving them a home in a hotel or a HMO and benefit money. Keir Starmer, where do I even begin to discuss this abhorrent excuse of a leader of our country?
Well, it doesn't get much more powerful and heartbreaking than that, but certainly a clear message to the government.
Absolutely. And I think, you know, her story is one that really you can't argue with, and you can't help but feel rage and sympathy. And whenever I hear of stories like these, I can't help but just be astonished by the silence. When Sarah Everard was killed, who was a young woman that was murdered here in the UK a few years ago by a police officer, you had ministers and politicians across the country calling for curfews for men, because apparently men were such a threat to women that they had to be curfewed and basically sectioned off in their homes by 9 p.m. But these same people who should be shouting from the rooftops don't see anything wrong with predominantly men coming across these shores from countries that don't have a track record of treating women with basic dignity or respect, and in some cases that's outright chattel. You don't hear anything from them, and they don't see a problem with it. You have a woman here who was stalked at night by someone who should have never been in the country, stabbed in a 90-second frenzy, someone with a child, and for some reason, you don't hear anything about that. You don't hear the fact that this person shouldn't have been in the country. All you hear, if you do hear anything from the mainstream left in Britain, is that they should be processed faster, which doesn't really tell you anything, because the overwhelming majority of the people that are processed are granted either asylum or they're not even kicked out, even if they're refused. You have the case of Abdul Azidi, someone who was denied asylum twice, who wasn't even allowed to sit in a church pew, and somehow on a third attempt granted asylum because he magically converted to Christianity, who poured acid on a mother and her 2 children and then committed suicide in London. This is someone who should have never been in the country, but somehow we have a charity industrial complex and a legal framework, or a lattice, should I say, of legal frameworks and human rights lawyers that are doing everything in their power to degrade the safety and security of this country and our laws and the protection and the rights of British people, and our politicians are basically co-signing it. So these are the kinds of things that just fill people with anger. And no matter how much you want to disparage people as far right or whatever, because these rallies are led by Tommy Robinson, who, yes, has a significant criminal record. If you do not solve these problems, if you do not take people's concerns and issues around their safety seriously, you're going to keep seeing more of this. And unfortunately, they have no answer to this. For Sadiq Khan to say something like, to say that these are people that are just filled with hate, what if something like that happened to his own daughter? Absolutely. What if an illegal immigrant poured acid on his own daughter or stabbed her in a 90-second frenzy at a train station? It's horrifying.
It is absolutely horrifying. There's such a disconnect, isn't there, between the politicians and the ordinary people. I mean, hearing messages like that.
Got a granddaughter. When in 30 years' time, when she grows up, I want her to recognise the England I was born in. And if we keep pouring into this country, there's going to be nothing left.
today London will be British. Reports say up to 1 million patriots are flooding the streets of London right now in what could become one of the biggest demonstrations in modern British history. Keir Starmer refuses to resign, but the people have spoken. Millions are uniting to push back against mass immigration. Millions are uniting to say enough of the destruction of British culture and against weak leaders who've betrayed their own people. History is being written in real time. The world is watching. This is no longer just politics. This is about nationhood, culture, sovereignty, and the future of the United Kingdom itself. To every patriot in Britain today, stand for your country, stand for your people, and ignite the courage needed across the Commonwealth before it's too late. God bless the United Kingdom, and God bless the Commonwealth.
And guess what? Keir Starmer, the British minister, went silent through all this chaos, just like our Cyril Matamela Ramaphosa. And when this British minister spoke ultimately, boy, he just infuriated British citizens even more. Listen to this.
Meanwhile, Starmer pushing back in a social media video, calling the organizers, quote, convicted thugs and racists peddling hatred and division.
Their goal is to convince people that Britain's problems are caused by those living alongside them. But that is not the Britain that I know.
Now, my question is UK xenophobic? Because we did the same thing and we are still doing the very same thing here in South Africa, and we are called xenophobic, we are called Afrophobic. My question is UK xenophobic? Nah. Is UK Europhobic? Is Rwanda, because Rwanda is doing the same thing, by the way, guys, I'll be doing a video on that one. Rwanda also guys, is this guy, what is his name again, Paul Kagame, is also dismissing and dispelling all the illegal immigrants in Rwanda. Is he xenophobic? Anyway, what do you think? Let me have your comment below, and of course, if you are coming for the first time, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.